Okay, the old bookshelf where all my college books are, miscellaneous other stuff. Okay, now I draw your attention to this book, An Act of Bravery, Otis W. McDonald and the Second Amendment, by Sue Bowron and Frederick Jones. This was a biography. It was not an autobiography, it was a biography they wrote about him. And obviously he had a lot of insight in it. Now, the reason why I draw your attention to this is, even though I did videotape it, I did do a review of it once before, Otis McDonald has passed away. He passed away on April 4th of this year at the age of 79. You know, let me give you something to look at. He really was an extraordinary man. A lot of black youth today are taught to look up to guys like Jay-Z and Beyonce and other dirtbags that contribute nothing to society. There, I said it. But this gentleman lived in the worst city in America, a city where more American citizens die by violence than American soldiers in the country of Afghanistan. And he was told that he could not have a handgun. Now, the 2008 Heller decision should have automatically overturned all handgun bans in the country. And his court case should have never had to happen because the decision had already been made. The Supreme Court should never be asked, does a previous decision you made affect everyone or just a few people? And he has now passed away. Now, Mr. McDonald did have several firearms, mostly sporting firearms, including long guns. He had a couple of burglaries. He had a wall queen, not a safe queen, a wall queen. A prize family long gun that was hanging on his wall was stolen. So he did have, quote, arms, but he wanted to have a handgun. And he had to go to the Supreme Court and ask permission to buy a handgun, which is something no citizen should do. You should not ask the Supreme Court for permission to practice a right you already have or should have. Now, most people believe that the best home defense gun is a shotgun. And just out of respect, I'm going to post a video below from Sergeant Dakota Meyer. Yes, that Dakota Meyer. He was doing a video for Surefire where he demonstrates house clearance with a shotgun. The star of the video is not the shotgun, but the Surefire weapons mounted light he's showing off. But I'm going to put that down below just out of respect to Sergeant Meyer. Yeah. Now, my Lord of the Rings books are out of order. Anyway, Sergeant Meyer demonstrates how to use a shotgun for home defense. And a lot of you are like, well, if you can't use a handgun, why don't you just buy a shotgun? It's better. Well, I use a handgun, as you can see, and this is hot. Mine is hot right now. It's got the 10-round mag in it. My Springfield Armory, 45, 1911 loaded. People prefer handguns because close quarter combat, it's hard to move a long gun, ammunition is cheaper. You know, there's a whole list of reasons, but the point is, whether you prefer a shotgun or a handgun or a rifle or a bow and arrow, you should not be denied a right. Now, ironic and funny as it is, Illinois would not let anyone carry a firearm outside of the home. And recently, the state lawmakers overruled a gubernatorial veto to enforce concealed carry laws in the state of Illinois. The city of Chicago likewise held out like crazy, and just now I'm hearing reports that an armed citizen in Chicago used a concealed carry handgun to defend themselves outside the home. I don't know much about it at this point, but they did. Now, it's kind of ironic when you look at this man who who came from an era which is only 4 years ago. And this man 4 years ago lived in a city where he could not own a handgun. And 2 days after his passing, a citizen used a handgun to protect himself outside of the home. So this is really a passing of an era right here. You know, you have a great man who has passed now, and none of the papers talk about him. If he was some scumbag rapper that shot his own children, he would be memorialized. I mean, our lawmakers wanted a moment of silence for Michael Jackson in the halls of Congress. And here we have a man who was not a rich man, who was not a famous man up until he stood up against the machine, the man. But, you know, he really was a great person, and he will be missed. There's no question about that. And his legacy does live on. And had it not been for this man, a citizen in Chicago today might be dead because they had to defend themselves with a handgun outside of the home. And he made the very first important step in handgun ownership in the city of Chicago. And that was the foundational step to protection outside of the home. So his legacy is living on already. Okay, thank you.